Hey everyone, I'm back. All right, so today's title of the workshop, okay, quick healthy snacks and meals, okay. Um, I wanted to go over a little bit. Yesterday we talked about making foods that taste great, okay, and kind of eating it healthy. And so a lot of that I'm going to reiterate today because I want you to understand eating healthy doesn't have to be a challenge. It doesn't have to be a mind-boggling process. I discussed earlier today with an individual that basically food, as long as you're eating your basic nutrients such as vegetables, fruits, some sort of protein, lean protein, some sort of grain, a whole grain preferably. Of course, and you get your dairy, and you're getting a lot of your nutrients out of just those. As long as you eat those every day, or try to, as most part, eating those every day. Your snacks, such as sugary snacks, like which one to come off my head, a moon pie or something. All right, those are simple sugars. Those are not really what we want. They may taste great. They may taste, that sugar just stimulates our taste buds, but it's not something we want to eat a whole box of. Okay, moderation's kind of what we want to achieve, and that's where we're going to get more into. Not today, but we will talk more about moderating, and that's probably the best way to actually maintain your diet is through moderation. But today, I'm going to go over the purposes of today's little info session, a little blog today. It's kind of the same as yesterday. So if you were with me yesterday, you've heard this once, but I'm going to go ahead and go over this workshop point. I'm following a workshop's guide that was made by dietitians, physicians, and nutritionists that all came together and collaborated and made this guide. And that's that's the information I'm delivering to you. That's a resource I found that is the best way for me to deliver it to you. So it's a valid source. Okay. And also, if y'all want any of it comes with handouts. I'm trying to figure out the best way to get handouts to y'all. I think I got them on my Dropbox accounts, so I may see if I can do a link or something after this and see if maybe if y'all want to get the handouts to this series, that y'all can actually be able to get those a little more effectively. All right, so let's get on with this. This workshop is based on the Dietary Guidelines for Americans 2010 and the 2008 Physical Activity Guidelines for Americans. The dietary guidelines provide science-based advice for making food choices that promote good health and a healthy weight and help prevent disease. The physical activity guidelines provide recommendations on the amount, types, and level of intensity of physical activity needed to achieve and maintain good health. Okay, that's what the guidelines is. All right, so the purpose of these workshops are to basically learn to balance calories, increase certain foods, and decrease certain foods. Okay, so like you want to avoid eating oversized portions, but you want to eat more of the foods that you should be eating, such as vegetables, fruits, whole grains, so forth. You'll make half your plate fruits and vegetables. Those are the foods you want to increase. Whole grains you want to increase. And you want to switch to fat-free or low-fat or skim milk foods, so forth. And then foods to decrease, of course, high sodium foods, you want to try to decrease those. And you want to drink water instead of sugary drinks such as sodas and so forth. And as always, you want to try to get about 2 hours and 30 minutes of physical activity or exercise each week. Moderate exercise if possible. And then, of course, children need about 60 minutes each day, okay, of active play. And I went over last time a little bit about kids and exercise. I recommend them playing instead of trying to get them into an exercise routine because they're still learning their bodies, especially if they're really little. They're still learning their movements. In fact, doing like a tumbling, like put them in like gymnastics at a young age allows them to learn their body's motion and how to control it a little better, which makes them, if you want your kid to be an athlete, makes them a better athlete. If you just want your kid to be active and just be able to excel at whatever he or she wants to do, that'll be a great way of doing it. And then, of course, my preference, put them in the martial arts because, that builds character traits, and it's the way I kind of grew up and I love it. So I'm biased. I like martial arts and stuff. Not that other sports don't teach that as well, but you know. So moving on from there. Anyway, so moving on to the meat of the subject. Today we're going to learn how to prepare meals quickly and how to stock your pantry. Learn how to make a healthy selection when eating out. Oh, I'm going to love that one. Learn how to use a slow cooker. I think we're going to avoid that one because I need an actual slow cooker in front of me, and that's one thing I don't have a lot of access to is making these videos where maybe one day I'll learn how to do that, make a video where I can actually show you how to cook something. That might help me and you. Alright, so moving on. So I'm going to skip on down here, and we're going to talk about, whoops, my computer kind of messed up on me. Boom, 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 boom. Kind of skipped on where I wanted to be. There we go. Alright, so, I know what I need. I get to go on down to the handouts. So I talked a little bit about this. Okay. Alright, so make small changes. Small changes can make a large difference. Okay. So we talked about yesterday kind of making swapping out. So, like if you're a sandwich lover, so instead of choosing bologna or high real fatty meats and real high sodium meats, choose lean like sliced turkey or chicken or so, and put those on your sandwich so you can get a little more lean meats into it. So you can use grilled chicken or tuna. You can make sandwich with peanut butter, low-fat cheese, sliced hard-boiled eggs, and making sandwiches are pretty quick and pretty easy. You can also load it with a lot of vegetables. Spinach is a great way to go. You can put greens, tomatoes, sliced cucumbers, green peppers, zucchini strips for added crunch, something like that. And then, of course, when you make your sandwich, make it with whole grain bread. And remember, look on the new ingredients list, and you can find the ingredients. It's going to be the one, if it contains the most ingredients, it's going to be the first. So you're going to see whole grain as the first ingredient, first or second ingredient normally in the list, and that's what it's going to contain the most of. And then, of course, if you're on the run, I'll give you an example from what I do. In the mornings, I don't have a lot of time to spend making pre-made meals or making meals. So I tend to like to do a protein shake, but I will say that gets kind of expensive. So you can make a pretty inexpensive protein shake, but what I normally typically do is I'll buy protein from GNC, and I'll put 2 scoops of it in it, and I get a very large container because I know I want it to last for me for a while, and it normally costs about $70. It's pretty expensive. So if you're looking to do protein shakes, which are a quick and easy way of doing your morning breakfast, but still awfully expensive, you may want to swap out and try to go to doing something like making your meal the night before. Like you can make a nice easy egg meal or a pre-egg meal in the morning, throw it in the microwave, and it'd still be fresh in the morning. Where you can make like a healthy burrito or such as like you can get a whole wheat tortilla. You can get eggs, preferably the yolkless eggs, which are going to be less cholesterol, and then of course you can put a little hot sauce on top of that, and it'll give you a kind of little spice behind it. And you got a nice little burrito. If you want to add a little extra flavor, you can even throw in some hummus to get even more, a little more protein out of it. It's a pretty decent little burrito. It's what I often make in the mornings if I got a little extra time in the mornings and I don't have to run as quick. But you can make those at night too. You can have your just pre-make everything, and it'll allow you to kind of have something on the go in the morning. So. And just throw it in the microwave, warm it up, and you got a good, quick, easy meal for the morning. And then, of course, if you're going out to eat, next little topic we're going to talk about, if you're going out to eat, how do you control the amount of calories in your meals you go with? A lot of times you go to these restaurants and they serve you such oversized meals. They're like really large, and they give you so much, which is it's really good because you get a lot for sometimes a little money. Like if you go to Golden Corral or something, you go to these places and you got a buffet in front of you, but it's hard to choose and hard to moderate and eating smaller portions because you've got so much available. Well, what you could do, and here's some little tips. You can also get ask for or get a salad plate and fill it up, and that way you can know how much you're eating. And if you're still a little after, don't eat real fast, but eat what's on that plate. And then if you're still a little hungry, then you go back and get a little bit more on that little plate. That's why you can control your portion size, how much you're actually eating. And then of course, you can actually reduce what you order too. You can actually get smaller orders. Like I've told y'all before, what I do when I go out to McAllister's, instead of getting the King Club, which is a really big sandwich, I get the McAllister Club, which is a smaller sandwich, which it's got all my proteins on it, and it's got all my it's got a little lettuce, it's got spinach on it, it's got tomato on it, it probably don't have whole grain bread, but it has everything on it. But I control the portion size because it's a smaller sandwich. Then I'll come home and I make my vegetables at the house. You see, that's kind of a way. But if you're out eating, I would suggest getting an order of vegetables along with a smaller meal. So if you get the choice of getting like a little side, get a vegetable side, and that should be a way to kind of help you moderate how many calories you take in. And then of course, you can also do a few other things. You can, let's say, you can order a side salad with low-fat, fat-free dressing instead of fries. So if you go to, let's say, Burger King, and because you're out on a trip or something, or you still like to get your little burger for the week, which is great. Just you want to kind of, like I said, moderate, because a lot of burgers add a lot of trans fats in, and it'll start really hurting that heart and those arteries and so forth. So just kind of, like I said, moderate with those. But you can, instead of getting fries, which are normally loaded with a lot of sodium, a lot of oils and stuff, you can get a small salad with it. Use mustard instead of, or low-fat mayo instead of regular mayonnaise. You can also choose green beans or raw carrots instead of coleslaw, because coleslaw has a lot of sugar in it. Or order a small baked potato with salsa instead of mashed potatoes and gravy. Okay. You can order a thin crust vegetable pizza. Thin crust, you get a little less carbs out of the crust. If you order the big cheesy crust pizza, you're going to get a lot of carbs through the breads. And then you could also save foods like cakes, pies, and brownies as an occasional treat. Those are those real simple sugars. And try to reduce the amount of how much you eat of those. It will help you also. And of course, then I'm gonna put they actually have a shopping list on here that you could check off when you go shopping and stuff. You can use it as well. But let's move on to tips of eating out. Let's talk a little bit about eating out, because that's one of the big things I do a lot. Is I like to eat out and get my food already prepared and stuff. Because I will admit, I'm not a big cook. Neither is my wife. But there's still ways of doing it. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like to cook in their house. Okay, we occasionally cook at the house, but we're not real big on it because we live kind of lives that are really kind of busy and hectic and stuff. And I know there's a lot of people out there like that, but this is here's a few tips. You could look in the menu. If you read the menu when you go out to eat, you could look for terms such as baked, broiled, boiled, grilled, lightly sautéed, poached, roasted, or steamed. And watch for terms that are, these are terms you want to watch out for that you don't want to have in your meals, like Alfredo. Like I said, that's a high sugary sauce. You'll find a lot of pastas, like if Olive Garden serves a lot of that, like the shrimp Alfredo and stuff. Breaded, buttered, creamed, crispy, deep fried, fried, gravy, pot pie, pastry crust, casserole, cheese sauce, creamed, stuff like those. Those are the terms that are going to be either loaded in either simple sugars or loaded in fats that we want to try to avoid. So when you read the menu, watch out for those terms as well. Then, And then, of course, you can also here's some other terms. Of course, if you for fast food, choose grilled chicken breast without mayonnaise. Okay. And then, of course, these are all going to be lower in calories and stuff. You also choose low-fat or fat-free yogurt. Some fast food places have it. Also, grilled chicken salads with reduced fat dressing. So, like instead of choosing ranch, or you should try, if you like ranch, you could choose reduced fat. Stuff like that. Now, occasionally, what will happen is you see on the labels that if the fat is reduced, that means the sugar normally goes up. So watch for those on the back of food labels. You'll see the increase in the amount of sugar for every decrease in the amount of fat. So if the fat's low, the sugar's going to be high. If the sugar's low, the fat's going to be high. So a lot of those are just for stimulating taste between the two. Of course, if you go to a deli sandwich shop, you can see if you can get fresh sliced vegetables on whole wheat bread with low-fat dressing or mustard. Also, turkey breast sandwich with mustard, lettuce, and tomato. Bean soup, stuff like that. Bean soup is going to be loaded in protein. Let's see. If you go to a steakhouse, lean broiled beef, 6 ounces should be good enough. You get a lot of protein out of that. You get also baked potato without butter, margarine, or sour cream to kind of reduce the sugars and reduce the amount of trans fat that you get. Seafood dishes that are not fried is another one. Okay, baked. Normally, only I know I'll see one dilemma with baked food. A lot of times it's a little higher priced, but see if you can get it baked when you go out to eat, because that's always a better choice than trying to go fried. You'll feel a lot better too. Of course, then here's a good one that we always, me and my wife go. We like Chinese food. When you go to, try to get steamed, broiled, roasted. You can get shao, which is barbecue. That's pretty cool. Lightly stir fried in mild sauce, hot and spicy tomato sauce. Reduced sodium soy and oyster sauce, dishes without MSG added, bean curry or tofu, mu shao vegetables, chicken and shrimp, and hot mustard sauce. So just kind of ideas of what you can go when you go to these different restaurants and stuff. And they got a whole list of them on here. I'm going to kind of skip through. Let's see. So I'm going to leave off with 10 tips to eating and building a healthy meal. Make half your plate fruits and vegetables. Okay. So choose, like, say, green beans could be on part of your plate. Then you got, say, a pear or peach. Could be a good pairing with it. A peach would be a sweet treat with those kind of those green beans that are a little bit more blandish, or no, I shouldn't say blandish. A little bit more. I don't really know a word for it, you guys. Anyway, maybe y'all got a better word for it, but I hate to say the word bland because that gives it a negative connotation. Now I'm just pondering what I want to say. I hate to be stuck like that with y'all. Anyway, but you could choose different vegetables, give different color. You want to make your vegetable colorful, so you can also choose like red bell peppers, yellow bell peppers, or so forth. Add lean meat such as baked chicken or baked fish. And include whole grains in your meal, such as whole wheat or whole grain bread or whole grain pasta. Get you some milk, low fat, 1% milk. Try to avoid extra fat. Okay. Using heavy gravies or sauces will add fat and calories to otherwise healthy choices. Try other options like sprinkling low-fat Parmesan or cheese of lemon on broccoli. So you can do lemon, which will give it kind of more of a sour taste, or low-fat Parmesan, which will give it kind of more of a sweeter taste. Let's see. Take your time. So savor your food. Don't eat real fast. Your stomach has to catch up to what you're eating. Okay. You can't, if you eat real fast, and then you're going to end up overeating before your stomach gets that filling sensation. So take your time eating. Eat foods that take a little bit longer to chew, such as like broccoli and green beans and stuff like that. And then use smaller plate. I told you the idea of getting a salad plate or just a smaller plate. Or if you go to a relative's house, you could use the same theory too. You can get a small plate and put different foods on it, and then just eat off of that. I don't know if even y'all have had this problem, but I remember growing up, I was always told to eat everything on my plate. Well, I don't like to, if I ever have kids, I don't want to tell them that. I don't want to tell them eat everything on your plate. I hate to say that because especially if I cook a meal, I not seeing anything eaten, but that's teaching them to overeat, okay, versus eat when they're full. Because if they're already full and they have to eat more because they still got food on their plate, then that can lead to a weight problem. Okay, so just watching for that. So yeah, you can use a smaller plate, and it stimulates that mind thinking, oh, I just ate a full plate. So that's a way, instead of counting calories, that's a great way to kind of portion control a little bit. And you can do the same thing at restaurants, grabbing, asking for a salad plate, or using the salad plate that's already on the table and eating off it. Like scoop some of your food off your main plate and putting it on that salad plate. Take control of your food. So eat at home more often so you know exactly what you're eating. I do that with my vegetables and stuff. So choose healthier options such as baked instead of fried. A lot of times at restaurants, you don't know exactly what they're putting in it unless you ask them. So you can always ask, say, hey, what's going to be in this such and such recipe? If you have any allergies, it's a great habit to get into. Because then that's where you can ask them, say, hey, does it have rice in it? And sometimes the waiter will know. Sometimes they'll have to go ask the chef or so forth. But definitely find that out, because then you know exactly what you're about to eat. And don't feel like you're being pushy or anything, because you really should know what you're about to put in your body. So ask them what's in it, and then try new foods. Picking out different foods, like I'll tell you, I've been explorative. I told you I've been trying vegan food. Vegan food's good. Now there's a few I found that I'm not a big fan of. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I waited too long to eat it. I don't know. It's just, I haven't really got the taste buds for it. But not to say I won't try it again and keep trying until maybe my taste buds change and adapt a little bit to it. Because remember, if you can give anything a little bit of time, don't, just because the first time you tasted it, you don't really like it, don't push it away. Try it again. See if you can develop a good taste for it. Because a lot of the healthy food that you taste that's not loaded down with a lot of sugar, since we're so used to a high sugary or high fat diets a lot of times that make things taste really good to our taste buds, we just have to learn to adapt to eat to a different style. And we have to change the way our taste buds receive that information. And of course, satisfy your sweet tooth with fruit. Oh, I said the magic word. Anyway, so fruit. All right. It'll be fructose, which is in a lot of fruit. Okay. That's something you should try to eat more of. Okay. So don't go grab the Twinkies. Don't go grab the moon pies or the cookies, or don't go grabbing those first. Okay. Eat you a banana. Eat you a pear. Eat you an apple. Okay, apple and bananas are highly filling fruits. Okay, apples in particular because it's got a lot of fiber in them. Okay, so if you need something to help you feel a little full, maybe your body's just not quite there at the end of the meal, and you're like, man, I really want something else. Grab you an apple. And got a whole bunch of different flavors out there. My wife loves the Honey Crisp, so I never knew for the longest amount of time until I got on my own that there were so many different types of apples. I always thought apple was apple, but there's not. It's different tastes, different flavors. They're grown at different seasons, stuff like that. It's pretty interesting. So, of course, I'm a banana guy. I will eat a whole bunch of bananas. Maybe not the best idea to overeat bananas, but that's typically my snack during the day. I'll eat bananas throughout the day. I don't know. Some people, I used to get called on the bus Donkey Kong. Little inside joke there for you, because I eat so many bananas. Yeah, my sense of humor kind of dry. I'm sorry, you guys. But yeah, so that's your top 10 little building healthy meals ideas for you from this series. And I hope y'all join me again tomorrow. I'm going to do another little workshop for y'all on another more dietary advice. And hopefully y'all picking up a little bit out of what I show you. And I'm going to try again. I'm going to try to share a link to a lot of these little handouts and stuff. I'm going to see if I can do it through my Dropbox. And that way y'all can always go on to this video and down in the comments and choose a link and be able to have access to these handouts that come with this workshop. So, but I'm thank y'all for listening, and I hope y'all tune in tomorrow. It should be between 2 to 3:30, somewhere up in there. I've been kind of averaging normally, but because I've yet to be able to actually make my time at 2 o'clock or 2:30. So I know I always end up having something come up around 2 o'clock or so. So I'm gonna average my time out and say somewhere up in there I'll be doing another show. So if y'all want to tune in, I don't know if y'all get a little pop up that says, "Hey, Dustin's going live now." So, but tune in, watch it. Maybe you'll learn a little something. I know these are sometimes long, sometimes short. These are going to tend to be a little longer. So just bear with me. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me. Remember, I'm your resource to get you some valid and reliable information. So use me. Ask me questions, whatever you need to do. I'm here to help you, okay? All right, help you get on track and help you build a better life. Okay, you have a wonderful day, and y'all take care. Enjoy this nice weather we're having. I know here in Shreveport we have beautiful weather. Get out, get active. Have a great day.